What advice would you give someone starting out today? Because you really, once again, we couldn't even give anybody advice. They would just go, fuck you, you're crazy. I'm not doing all that
I don't know. I mean, it's so different now. I mean, it has nothing really to do with artistry as much as it does for marketing. And I mean, there is obviously some amazing talent out there, but for me,
who do you think is talented today?
I love Beyonce, I have to say. I love Florence and the Machine. Of course, I love Lady Gaga. Of course, I do.
And if not, Perez Hilton will.
Yeah, no, of course I do. There's a lot of, you know, I mean, I love Rihanna. I think there's some amazing stuff out there, and I love, you know, there's a lot of good stuff. There's a lot of crap too that you have to weed through. Actually, I'm not so sure. I mean, shows like American Idol are healthy for the music industry, to be perfectly honest.
And, Linda, how could you say that?
I think Simon Cowell is I have mixed feelings about him, but I mean, ultimately he's a performer. But I'm not so sure that whole thing was a very healthy thing, and I think it was the end of a lot of artistry and developing artists in music.
Well, I mean, can you imagine Patti Smith? I mean, just put that in here. If you hadn't gone into the music business, you hadn't reached the kind of success that you have, what would you have done?
Well, I'll tell you the one thing. I wanted to be Anita Ekberg. That was my. You know, I mean, I saw La Dolce Vita, so I thought, okay. Well, first of all, I remember when I was growing up, my mom had like these books for all us kids that you like age 10, age 8. What do you want to do when you grow up? And mine was always travel agent because I just wanted to travel around the world. And then I saw La Dolce Vita, and I decided I want to go to Italy, and I can scoop ice cream. I worked at Swenson's ice cream parlor, and so
I knew. Talk about Swenson's.
Oh, that was funny.
So if you're not from LA, nobody knows Swenson's.
Swenson's was we made our own ice cream in the back, and I worked there for a summer. Actually, I gained 40 pounds in one summer.
It would be hard not to at Swenson's.
Cut my hair and gave myself an afro.
Was it the one in Westwood?
Yeah, the one in Westlake Village. No, Westwood. Westlake Village. Okay. Where was I?
Interrupted by me.
So anyway, so I decided I was going to go to Italy, and I was saving my money to go to Italy so I could work in an ice cream parlor, and then I would be able to ride in the back of scooters with cute Italian guys and smoke cigarettes and be pulling the Via Veneto. That's all I wanted to do, actually.
So basically, you've done that. You're certainly more beautiful than Anita Ekberg.
No, I don't know about that. But, so anyway, that's what I was saving my money for, and then I got in a car accident, which I talk about in the book, and that I remember as in slow motion, as the car was turning over, I thought, oh shit, I can't sell my car and go now. I'm not going to make it to Italy. And I didn't, and that's how my life took a different turn. But that was actually on my way.
You were on your way to the airport.
Somewhat, yeah.
You know, it's funny because I know, because you send myself and my girlfriend a lot of great books to read. You're an avid reader and a reader of fabulous books. You turned us on to
Stefan
Zweig, who is, you must read him.
Yeah, he's a forgotten literary star of the 1930s who was probably my favorite writer ever.
Well, you've made me a fan. Were you intimidated by the prospect of writing this book?
Well, it's different than Stefan Zweig. it's you know, I just figured this. I mean, it's my story, and you know, like it or not, it's my story in my words, and you know, some people are going to like it, some people aren't, but I just did the best I could, and I don't, you know.
What was your process for writing the book? Did you sit down every day and journal and come up with go through your memories and diaries?
It was hard. I had to. I started about 3 years ago. and writing, encapsulating my life in less than 25 pages, really, and it was hard. And there was outlines and categorizing years, and then it was when the process began. It was digging deep, and I was afraid that I wasn't going to remember a lot of it, and I don't remember.
I do, and it was a disaster. I was terrible.
So it was a long process. It was fun. It was emotional sometimes. I made a lot of realizations that I didn't make in therapy.
But elaborate. I like that. Elaborate on that. So it was very cathartic to write this. But
yes,
obviously it couldn't not be because you really went deep.
Yeah, it was. I think. Well, the obvious drugs and alcohol stuff was painful, but I mean, it wasn't as painful for me as writing about. And I didn't really realize it, but a lot of the time that I was after I had my son of being away from home and taking work, not to work, but to be able to be away from home and to indulge in my secret life, which was drugs. And when I realized about how much time I spent away from home, and then remembering my son asking me if I lived at the airport one day when I came home, and that was a pretty painful thing to write about.
Has Dookie read the book?
Of course he has.
Yeah.
Something. I mean, he went through. I had to wait till so I had till the very last sort of edit, because there are things that I was still in the process of editing myself. I mean,
there's only so much you can put out.
Only so much, especially being a wife and especially a mother. So.
And how did he respond initially?
Well, I think my son is very well grounded, and I think it was important for him to read to realize the nature of the illness, and I think through it all, he's realized that I did the best I can given the circumstances, and that's all we can ever do is do the best we can.
No kidding. So you're going on the Go-Go's farewell tour. Is it really my friend?
Well, I think some of us have different ideas about when it should have ended, when it should end, and everybody has a different opinion. Myself, I think it's perfect timing. We've been together for 32 years, and everybody has their own lives going on. It's getting harder and harder for me to make any commitments to the band, so for me it's perfect timing. And actually, I really didn't want to be 60 on stage singing "We Got the Beat." I just didn't. So I think it was time.
You just can't keep doing it. What's your best Go-Go's memory? Your favorite show, your best memory?
Best memory.
When you really felt good, when everybody was so really.
Actually, the best days were the days before the first album. The first album I had some good times during that first album, but the best days, my favorite, were just as the band was starting to break, and I remember I traded my scooter in for a '59 Cadillac and $100, and pulling up to the Whiskey. There was a parking lot across the street from the Whiskey, and parking my car. Remember that parking lot?
Of course.
And bringing my clothes, up the stairs, and the fans out in the street going, we're so excited. And at Go-Go shows, I mean, for